Every year, there's always a few fantasy players that we see coming from a mile away. We see these guys that are going to ruin our seasons, man. Think about Zamir White, Rashad White, Brandon Ayuk. These are all names that we kind of had red flags about. We knew that they were going to be bad for us, and they ended up being bad. It doesn't always work, but we try our best, right? And I got 6 names for you guys in this video. 6 names of players that are going to tank your season if you draft them. Now, they will not only tank your season, they will ruin your locker room, man. They will ruin the vibes on your team. Your other players will start to play bad knowing that this dude is sticking around on your team. So I'm Ron from Never Lucky. We know ball. We're just never lucky here. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the video. We're going to hop into this, man. I'm going to just talk about my goals for this video. So I want to go into my drafts every season with names circled of not only buys and players that I love, but also players that I want to avoid. It's typical, bro. I'm sure you guys do it yourself with your little cheat sheet. So unless they're falling multiple rounds, these are guys that I just want to stay away from, man. I need to be like the perfect level of drunk slash, like not giving a fuck, or it has to be late enough where I'm willing to take these guys. And the first name on this list is going to be Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon, somebody that I've been talking about all offseason, man. Even though he had really good volume and opportunity last season, his efficiency was horrible, dude. And it's been in a downfall since those early seasons with the Bengals. He's always been kind of a volume running back. And he's currently like an RB2, a volume-based RB2 on a team that's going to have a really bad offensive line. The Houston Texans, based on consensus offensive line rankings, are expected to be like a bottom 2 offensive line unit in the NFL. They're like 30th at the moment, based on a lot of different consensus rankings. So at his cost, man, you're really like passing over a lot of really good value still in the draft. So Joe Mixon is somebody that he's already dealing with an injury. He's going to be on a team that's going to be struggling to run the ball. I think this Texans offense is just going to become a Bengals type offense, a pass funnel. They're going to be throwing the ball. They're not going to be able to run it effectively. He's already injured. Behind him, you have Nick Chubb, who might be cooked. You have a bunch of like no-name Woody Marks and a bunch of other no-name running backs. So this running back room is just looking brutal, dude. I wouldn't be surprised if they make a move at the deadline. Maybe they trade Mixon. Maybe they bring in another guy. Maybe Mixon just remains kind of like an early down guy with not a lot of, big play potential. So Mixon is the first player that I'm fading, man. The next player, this dude's been a mainstay on my channel for fucking multiples. Even before I started doing YouTube, I was just standing on my corner talking shit about Javonte Williams. Currently going around, the high 30s, RB 30. So he's not that expensive. He's not somebody that you really have to sacrifice a lot to get, but I know he's a value to some people. People see him as potentially the starting running back for the Cowboys. Listen, he's competing with blacksmiths, freelance DJs, fucking waiters at the RB position. I understand. There's nobody really of significance, but I do think Jadon Blue is going to be the starter for this team. Let's talk about Javonte Williams' stats real quick, dude. 32nd in yards per carry, 35th in yards over expected per carry, 35th in yards after contact per carry, 29th in tackles avoided, 26th in explosive rush rate, 36th in PFF grade. Bro, you can probably keep finding a random stat, and Javonte Williams' bitch ass is going to be at the bottom of that list, man. So he's not a bitch ass. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Javonte Williams is not a bitch ass. He's a nice man, and please don't come after me, bro. Don't come at me on Twitter. He's not going to see this anyway. But anyway, he's coming off an injury. He didn't look good when he came back from the injury. He's now on a new team. Jadon Blue looks very explosive. He's getting a lot of first-team reps in camp, so I'm off Javonte Williams, bro. I don't care what round it is. He's one of those guys where even if it's in like multi-digit rounds, I'm not down, bro. I'll let somebody else fall under that knife. And the next name, the next running back on this list, this one's gonna be a little bit controversial, man. It's gonna get people's feathers a little bit ruffled, dude. Their jimmies are gonna get rustled. It's Caleb Johnson, running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, bear with me, bro, before you click off this video. Everybody's victory lapping that Caleb Johnson looked bad in the preseason. He couldn't find the right hole. He kept bouncing stuff to the outside. My reason for him being a landmine and a person that I don't want to draft is not because of that. It's a little bit because of that, but it's mostly because of the bad news we've been getting the entire offseason, man. This is a player. I understand what you guys are going to say. He dominated in college. Absolutely dominated. He has no real competition on the Steelers. No alpha dude, right? No big name player. Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator, wants to run the ball, dude. They want to play smash mouth style of football where they want to get, 300 touches to their starting guy. Remember what he did with the Falcons where he was pissing everybody off when it came to Bijan Robinson. So I have concerns. The reason I'm fading this man is not because of that, not because he was a dominator, but the situation seems perfect. The reason I'm fading him is because of his pass blocking, man. We've seen multiple reports going back months to going back even more recently. Check out this article here. Caleb Johnson must improve his pass blocking. That's from 3 months ago. Another report from July 31st, another article. Former Iowa running back Caleb Johnson struggling in one major area with Steelers. Later in the article, they talk about his pass blocking. Now, this is why this is such a big issue for me. The reason that I'm so concerned about this is because he's playing on an Aaron Rodgers team. Jalen Warren, the current 1B, he's been a mainstay for the Steelers. You know, the past couple seasons, he's always like a sleeper pick for a lot of people. He's one of the better pass blocking running backs in the NFL. Check out this I just Googled, is Jalen Warren good at pass blocking? And AI provided a nice little answer for me, dude. Jalen Warren is known for his excellent pass blocking ability, which has been praised by coaches and analysts. He is considered one of the best in the league at picking up blitzes and stunts, providing a clean pocket for the quarterback. His blocking skills allow the team to shift protections, knowing he can handle backside pressure. So you have a rookie. You have Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback. You have a rookie who's bad at pass blocking, and you have Jalen Warren, who's a pass-catching running back who's great at pass blocking. I can imagine a situation, bro, where fucking Caleb Johnson whiffs a blitz. Aaron Rodgers gets his ass lit up. Aaron Rodgers gets up, points at the sideline, and says, like, get him out of the fucking game. And then Caleb Johnson doesn't see the rest of the game. He doesn't see the field. I can see that happening. I think Jalen Warren is going to have a much bigger job, a much bigger share of this workload than we think because of his pass blocking, because of his pass catching. He's much more dynamic. I don't know. I'm a little bit worried about Caleb Johnson, bro. It's not because of preseason. But anyway, we're going to wrap it up there, and we're going to head over to our first wide receiver on this list. It is Stefon Diggs. This one's easy, bro. This is like taking candy from a baby. He's 43 years old. He's coming off a torn ACL, and he's now on a new team. He's 56 years old. Before his ACL injury, he had his lowest yards per reception in his career. So this is before the ACL. Already at his lowest yards per reception. They were just using him as like a third down wide receiver. He was still getting a decent amount of targets for the Texans last year. They have Kyle Williams, who they're very excited about, bro. They draft Kyle Williams. They still have Polk. They have Demario Douglas, who's like a slot, target hog, Wan'Dale Robinson type. He's just going to be a possession receiver. Think Keenan Allen from the Bears last year. And did I mention he's 74 years old? I just think that this team is going to start to move and shift more toward the younger guys. They're going to use Diggs early because of name recognition. But eventually, as the season goes on, which, we play fantasy because we want to win our fantasy championships. We don't really care about weeks 1 to 5. We just need to tread water, make sure we, squeeze out some wins, get some value where we do, work the waiver wire. We want to play for the end of the season. I don't think Diggs is going to make it through the season as like a producer for us, right? And lastly, man, he's 93 years old, bro. Before the season ends, he will be at least 100. Fade this man, dude. Do not take Stefon Diggs. I know his name looks nice when you're sitting there in those middle rounds or like, the 7th, 8th, 9th round, and you see Stefon Diggs. You think about the Patriots. You think about Drake May, new coaching staff. They bring in Diggs on like a $20 million a year contract. Bro, it's Fugazi. It's Fugazi, bro. This is a veteran contract for a big name, thinking he's going to help Drake May further develop. He's a development signing. That's the way I see it. And the next wide receiver on this list, actually, one more thing. Stefon Diggs is 123. You can't draft this man, dude. He's so old. He's aging at a rate that nobody else ages. Anyway, Deebo Samuel, one of my favorite players to watch. He's the next player. I drafted him in 2021 off chance. I just saw his name. I thought he was a good dynamic player. I wasn't like a sharp, but I drafted him. He popped off for me, and he helped me, dude. He helped me clutch. He helped me grasp the elusive first round playoff exit, dude. I was first place in the league, and I lost in the first round. Thank you, Deebo, dude. I'll always pour one out for you. You're the fucking GOAT, dude. This is a tweet that I created today. You guys should go and fucking retweet it or like it or hit me up in the comments. I understand the upside case for Deebo in this new horizontal air raid system that the Commanders use. Just to give a little bit more context, the Commanders use this offensive system where they do a lot of out routes, a lot of end arounds. They want to use like the sidelines a lot, and then they'll throw it deep. They'll do play action. They call it the horizontal air raid. Look, I'm not a fucking X's and O's guy. You guys can research what that means, what it is. But I know Deebo could be good in that, right? Because he was a good yards after the catch guy. But 39.7 success rate versus man. That's the third lowest ever charted by Matt Harmon. 127th in EPA. 52nd in QBR when he was targeted. I mean, it just gets worse and worse, man. Lowest yards after the catch per reception in his career. Those are all 2024 metrics. It scares me, bro. I know he's on a new team. I know the Commanders are going to be a much better team than the Niners were last year. The Niners were banged up the whole entire season. Deebo was also banged up. He was dealing with like fucking scurvy or something, like some ancient ass disease. Or I think it was pneumonia. I loved him, dude, but I just think there's not enough upside here, right? One more little like chart that I want to show you guys. This is from Fantasy Points Data. Juwan Jennings, 19th best in separation score, with Debo being the third worst at negative 0.008. So that's out of 77 qualifying wide receivers 2024, third worst. It's not looking good, bro. I know you can chalk it up and say he was injured, man, but pneumonia, why does that explain why he can't get open? I don't know. Then there was a video that came out earlier in the offseason where he was looking beefy, bro. He looked like he was hitting Wingstop. Yeah, man. I just think like all the metrics are looking bad, dude. I'm just not excited about Deebo Samuel. There's not enough upside to take him. There's a lot of players that I like in that range that have a lot more upside, right? I know you're getting a piece in a good offense, but I'm skipping him. Unless he falls like super deep. If he's like in the 10th plus round, I might take a shot there. And when I say I'll take a shot, I mean I'll take another shot at tequila at the live draft. I will not draft Deebo Samuel. We'll move on now to Travis Kelce. Listen, we need a moment of silence for Travis Kelce, dude. I think the era is over. Avoided tackles by season. This is a Jacob Gibbs tweet, one of the GOATs. Go follow him for sure. 2024, 2022, 24 missed tackles forced or avoided tackles. 2023, 17. 2024, 3, dude. The entire season, 3 avoided tackles. The man had fucking 130 goddamn targets, 97 receptions. How do you only avoid a tackle 3 times? Anyway, man, this is another tweet from Adam Levitan. Yards after contact per reception, bro. Close your eyes now, man. The last 4 seasons. In 2021, 6.1. 2022, 5.6. 2023, 5. 2024, 3.9. Dude, at this rate of regression, in 2025, he's going to have like 1 fucking yard after contact, man. It might be Jover, dude. I'm going to pull up his game log right here just to show you guys the greatness that was Travis Kelce. Number 1 tight end all those seasons. Number 2, this season he gets a similar volume. He gets 133 targets still. He's still very highly targeted. Only 3 touchdowns, an 8.48 yard per reception, 823 yards. Bro, it's Jover, man. Don't fall under that knife. Don't lay under that falling knife. I think it's Jover. Talking about the situation, man, Xavier Worthy is going to be more involved, right? They're going to try to get the, have this guy take another step forward as this dynamic young player, the super speedy player they have. Hollywood Brown, he's healthy, man, and he's somebody that they really liked. When he came back last season from his injury, he was actually targeted pretty often. He had like 9 targets in his first game back. Rashee Rice, at some point, he's going to have his ankle bracelet on, but he's going to be back from suspension. They might have him in a fucking, he might have like a probation officer on the sideline watching, but he's going to be back. So I don't know if there's going to be enough meat on the bone for Travis Kelce. I don't know if there's going to be enough upside for a guy like Kelce. There's just so many better tight ends later. For example, I've been drafting Chigo Okonkwo like he owes me money, dude. I've been drafting Tucker Kraft. I've been drafting David Njoku in a similar range. These are all players that have so much more upside. They're much bigger parts of their offense. It might be over for Kelce, man. I loved Kelce, dude. He's one of my favorite players. I love his podcast. I rip that shit all the time. But it's over. And those are the 6 players, man. Those are the 6 players that you want to be avoiding in fantasy drafts. I hope you guys liked this video, man. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm trying a new thing where I'm trying to be a little bit more snappy with my videos. I'm rambling yet again. I was doing well in this video until that last part right there. But if you guys like this video, make sure to go down below, like it. That's the best way to show support, man. You can go to the Patreon. I'm going to have a draft guide. I'm going to have all that stuff that everybody does, dude. I'm trying to get that going. Trying to make this into a thing. So hope you guys like it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow where we are going to be talking about the top gold mines. So this was a landmine video of players you want to avoid. Tomorrow we're going to be doing gold mines, dude. These are players that I'm trying to go for. I'm trying to reach several rounds to get these guys. Whatever you want to call it. These are like steals, values. Doesn't fucking matter. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.